One sure way to not get anything done is to think about all the things you have to do at once. I think we overwhelm ourselves a lot with thinking about, all the things on our to-do list, maybe the things in the world that are not going well or need to be fixed, or even in your community, things that you see and you're like, damn, why is this happening? This shouldn't be like this. But the problem is that we focus on all the things, we become overwhelmed, and then we signal the stress response when we become overwhelmed. It's that stress response of the fight or flight, and so we end up, our body kind of like shuts down, and we end up doing nothing at all. So one of the ways of overcoming that is to pick one thing, right? Even if at this moment you can't identify what is the most important thing, because sometimes when we are so overwhelmed, we can't even think what we should do first. Just do something. Pick something at random, right? Focus on that one thing until it's done. And then take a couple of breaths and think of something else that you want to work on. I know I'm making it sound simple, and it is as far as understanding, but it's not easy. So reminding yourself when you're focusing on that one thing, when your mind starts to think about all the things, you say to yourself, I will get to that later, but right now I'm not thinking about that. Right now I'm thinking about this, or I'm doing this thing, right? And it's kind of like meditation. Your mind will constantly wander to all the things, and then you just remind yourself, you become aware when your mind is wandering, and remind yourself like, no, I'm doing this right now. You can do that with tasks too. I know sometimes, like when I'm picking up around the house, I go from one room to another, and then I end up picking up in that room where, I left something else in the other room that I was organizing. And so it's a good practice in that way, right? So if I find myself, going into another room and then starting another project, becoming aware and stopping myself and saying, no, I'm going to do this after. I can do this after, but right now I'm focusing on this particular task. And in that way, we can kind of like train our brain how to focus on one thing at a time and not try to do all the things. I think particularly in today's society where things are coming at us like 1,000 miles an hour, with technology, we're able to see world events like no other time in history, like instant, right, while it's happening. And we're getting bombarded with all this information, which can be helpful, except when we're thinking about all the information at once. And then again, like I said, the stress response kicks in, and we end up doing nothing at all, or we end up having like a panic attack, anxiety, like these other things, or we end up getting really, really depressed, right, and can't get out of bed in the morning because we're just so overwhelmed with all the things. One of the reasons why I stopped watching the news was that, all right, it was too much for me. It's too much stimulus. It's too much negativity. I was getting overwhelmed with it. And, I find out important things, right? They get to me, either through, hearing from people like coworkers, my family members, Facebook. And if there's something that piques my interest that comes up, I might look into it a little bit further to find out, what it's all about, right? So I'll hear surface information, and then I can dig it up on myself. But I'm taking control of that. I'm choosing what it is that I want to pay attention to. And it's one thing at a time. I hope this helps you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you remember to let the people that you love know that you love them. Send them that text, give them a call, give them a great big hug every chance you get. Live your life enthusiastically, live your life mindfully, live your life with gratitude. I don't know why I'm so happy today. Maybe because the sun's out. I don't know. I'm going to go with it. And until next time, guys, please stay blessed. Peace.